how is it possible to fix your marriage if you're the only one working on it? And when's the men's marriage class?
Right.
That's
right.
But,
Right.
Okay.
basically, how could a woman do it on her own if
Okay.
she's the only one working on it?
Okay, great.
So
Okay.
why don't you start? Yeah.
Okay, great. So first of all, women have a hormone that men do not have. And that hormone is called oxytocin. And oxytocin, they call it the love hormone, the connection hormone. And that's why women are always, always looking for more connection. Okay? Men have a tiny, tiny bit of oxytocin, okay, but really not too much. Okay? So this is part of the reality of the world. That women, as John Gottman, he says, like women are always the captain of the relationship.
So yeah, captain, but as Leah likes to call it, the navigator.
The net.
Okay.
Because with us, it's like the husband's the captain, the woman's in the
Well, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
okay.
That's all
Yeah.
part of it too,
Yes,
because
yes.
he has testosterone, and that's the captain. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so just bring me back. So oxytocin, So what? So
Why
what,
would women be?
Why exactly?
Why are they
exactly?
Why are they the
fine.
man?
Okay.
Not
Okay.
the man, but,
No.
Be the
Okay.
man. Whatever.
Right.
Whatever. Why are they the ones who have to
about
work on the
her.
relationship? That's
No,
it.
Just a second. It's not her that has to work on the relationship. It's her that wants to work on the relationship. It's her that is craving more relationship. It's her that understands that when they are the most connected, that's when both of them are living their life to its fullest. He just doesn't have quite that understanding. We want to be very nice and politically correct to our men listeners or men our other partners. Okay?
Right.
Okay, fine. So the thing is like this, that I really think that it's such an advantage that she is the one that's working on the relationship and that she doesn't have to involve him. Okay? Because any change that she makes in herself is going to automatically affect him, and it affect her children also. I always use a parable to a tree, Leah. You know that parable, right? I learned this parable a long time ago. Parable is mushel, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I told her to use a lot of English.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
Everybody
Okay. I
follows.
just don't know if it's the English matches the Hebrew, but okay.
Close enough.
Okay, so the idea, I actually learned it many years ago from Rebbe Yeti Neustadt, okay? She says when you look at a tree, you look at it and you see that it's tall and broad and beautiful, but anybody that knows anything about biology, or about, not biology, anybody by botany?
Botany,
Botany,
yeah,
good,
yeah,
okay, knows that it's because of the roots that are underneath the tree that makes the tree tall, broad, and beautiful.
That's great.
Okay? So when you look at a marriage, when you look at a home, you see the man, you see his name, if they're a Kohen or a Levi or Yisrael, right, whatever it is, so that all the lineage goes according to him, and the customs of the house goes according to his customs that he brought into the marriage, etc. But the real success depends on those roots that are underneath the tree. Okay? The roots underneath the tree have to be attached to a source of water in order to nurture the tree. They have to be in well-nourished soil in order to nurture the tree. And they have to be allowed to grow in order to nurture the tree. Which means like this, that any time a farmer wants to improve the quality of the tree, where does he go? He doesn't climb up the ladder and inject every single fruit with vitamins and minerals. He goes to the roots.
This is gorgeous.
Wow,
This
yeah.
is
Okay?
gorgeous.
So which means that any time we make any kind of change within ourselves, it automatically affects the tree and the fruits on the tree.
And also, just to connect the dots,
Yes.
the woman is the roots.
The roots, yes.
Is that
By the
perfectly
way,
clear?
It's beautiful because the children are like
They're the fruits of the
and
tree.
he's the
Yes.
tree.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
all like interconnected.
Yes.
Wow.
And also, not every tree is a fruit-bearing tree. Okay? Okay? Right? But there's a tree.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
One other thing, just to tie this all together, it says, "Lo tov heyot adam levado." It is not good for man to be alone. You cannot have a tree without roots. You could have roots without a tree. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So also, they did this thing. They had a hurricane in Connecticut. This ties in with your thing. They had a
Okay.
hurricane in Connecticut, and some of the trees completely blew away, and some of the half the trees stayed. were like beautiful and half blew away. And they're like, this made no sense. On the same block, 5 trees missing, 3 trees there, how could that possibly be? And they went and studied, and what happened is the families who had put in automatic tree sprinklers or whatever it is, what are those things called?
Those they go by the
A drift system, whatever. The families who had put those in, the tree roots had all stayed near the surface to drink the readily gotten water. Wow. They died in the hurricane. The trees that had to work hard on themselves and push through the soil and had to fight for their water, and those were deep rooted. And they did when the hurricane came. They lasted.
Leah, that was
goosebumps,
what a
right?
great tie-in.
Right, yeah.
Unbelievable.
So
the
beautiful.
woman working
Exactly.
on herself. It's so gorgeous. Let's go to the next question. Very good.
Okay.
So the bottom line of that, the take-home message, here's the homework from what we're talking about. The homework is that the more energy and the more effort you put into building your roots and making that street working on yourself or working on your character traits. The more you do that, the better the tree's going to grow, the better the children are going to grow, and the more satisfied and happy you are going to be in your life because you're doing what you're meant to be doing. It's gorgeous.
Wow. And I like that chemical. I've never heard that chemical thing.
This is really important in my work. Really important.
Is there a way to increase that chemical?
Yes. Any laughing, enjoying, closeness.
Shopping?
Okay.
Shopping.
Feels like I'm not shopping. I'm going to get back to you on that one.
I think shopping is the poor substitute for like the...
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. Wait, let's make her point because it's good. Shopping is to fill the emptiness. We all shop. By the way, I shop. I love shopping. Okay, so don't get me wrong. But it fills a place that because other things aren't filling it. So look to those things first and shop after.
Now that we're talking about shopping, the next question actually ties in.
Okay.
We can't talk about money without one of us getting upset.
Oh, she's talking about her husband.
Correct.
Hold on. I warned her that this was going to happen. Hold on a second. Oh, you can be the artist. Okay, so I'll tell you. Push this button and you wait. Right, that button right there. Okay. Hold on. Wait. Yay! Okay, we're good. That was the.
Okay. By the way, that was like the funniest thing. The button got pushed before it actually. It cracked the glass. We're gonna get that coordinated.
Okay, very good.
But yes, talking about money obviously between a couple, and it's actually interesting because in many of Leah's been doing this class for many years with the original group and ladies, and that was a very hot topic because it brought a lot of altercations between a couple.
It's one of the most difficult. If you took all these surveys, they say, "What's the number one thing that you fight about?" Money, cash.
So basically, she wants to know how do we talk about money because.
What her question is, how to communicate about it?
That when they're talking about money, one of them is always getting upset, and then it ends up in a big fight. So how do you address the issue of money without it causing problems?
Okay, good. So first of all, it really is a very, very, very big, broad topic, and it is very difficult to answer what we'll say on one foot. Okay, because I don't really believe that it's in a vacuum. I really don't believe it's in a vacuum, the money thing. Okay, what we're talking about here is dealing with an issue which is emotionally laden for both people. Okay, and anytime you have that, and it might be about not just money, it might be about a certain child in the family, right, that is having learning difficulties, and she wants to give him all kinds of therapy, and the husband just says that he just has to work harder, right, all kinds of things. Anytime you're dealing with an emotional issue like that, you come into, first and foremost, trying to understand where the other one is coming from and what the other person is really experiencing within this issue. Okay?
That the woman could do. What did the man? He's not doing that.
What do you mean?
Well, it's going to be more challenging for him. Like you said right before, he's not interested in connecting.
Okay, but it all depends it all depends. There's a dance going on here.
It's
fine.
Yes.
There's a dance going on here. Mm-hmm. If she is going to, I'm trying to translate. If she is going to run this conversation with softness, with humility, with understanding towards her husband, he's not going to start yelling because there's nobody to yell at. She's being soft, she's being vulnerable, she's understanding. She is using all of the skills that I'm sure that you talk about and I'm sure that you teach, okay, about using a soft voice and listening and being an active listener and repeating back and making things.
That was 2 weeks ago.
I don't know, I didn't hear that.
Feminine charm.
Yeah, that's
Feminine
it.
charm, right?
Charm.
Which is really, that's what you called it, Leah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the
That's amazing because that's really my thing
It's
over
all
here.
from the
same source.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly, and it actually
No, it's
comes
Leia's
from-
name. Leah, take the credit.
What'd you say?
I said take the credit. Feminine
that's
charm.
Okay, so we'll talk about that, okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Just a second. Now, I lost my train of
It's
thought.
all the Torah source. Everything that both of us teach are from the Torah
Everything,
source.
everything.
Right. That
If
if
we
you
have
said
similar
that if
concepts,
she
it's
speaks
because
with
it's from-
softness and a
Now, I
soft
want
voice is
to
not gonna
I want to
fight her.
bring up another makor, which maybe you've brought up to your women, maybe not. It's from the Ramban, okay?
It's a source.
It's
Makor is
a source, okay? The Ramban, he wrote a famous letter to his son, and he says in there, I'll say it first in Hebrew and then I'll translate, okay? Hashpel atzmacha v'yenascha hamakom. Humble yourself and Hashem will lift you up. Okay? Okay. Now he's talking about in every relationship across the board, if that is how you deal with people, and that is how you connect to people, you try to humble yourself, etc., and give the other person their place and trying to understand them, etc., Hashem will make sure that what it is that you truly, deeply desire will come out. Okay? Now, it's a kal v'chomer. It's how much more so between husband and wife, where there is an intrinsic dynamic of hierarchy. Okay?
So explain this to the
Yes.
women who may...
Okay, fine. The man, like we said, he has this hormone called testosterone. It goes back to Torah. It's exactly that. It says that he rule over you, meaning a man has an intrinsic need, that his wife looks up to him, that he has an authority, that he feels that she depends on him, that she looks up to him, etc., etc., etc. Okay, that's intrinsic in him. So when you also bring that into the dynamic, it's not just you and me talking, right? It's something else. There's something else. Okay, then how much more important is to keep in mind this Ramban. Okay? Humble yourself, talk softly.
So let me explain. Humble yourself doesn't mean be wimpy
No,
and give in
not at all.
and whatever.
No.
It just means being soft about it. Like, would it be possible?
Would it
if
be
we did
possible?
this?
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Let me try to understand what you're saying. Okay? Could I just rephrase that? Could I say, is this what you're saying?
Yeah.
And he'll say, no, I'm not saying that. This is what I'm saying. Oh, okay. The only problem I'm having with that is where I'm really struggling with what you're saying.
She's
I'm
giving examples now
of how,
of how
to,
to talk to your husband in a soft way.
in a
Yeah.
humble way.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Also, what Leah just said now about that humble in humility doesn't mean a shmata. That's
Right,
basically
right,
what you
right,
said.
right.
Right, because it says.
Well,
in the-
translate shmata. How do you
Dishcloth.
A
dishcloth?
I'm
sorry.
A rag. Yeah.
A rag,
good,
okay. Because it also says in Megillah, it says, any place that you see Hashem's humility, God's humility, you see his greatness. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Humility and greatness go together. Humility and strength go together.
No. Hold on a sec. We have to have time out about
Okay,
this.
okay.
Because what is the message for the last 60 years, maybe 100 years that women have been getting is that you have to be strong, don't be humble, be bossy, boss woman, come on, like whatever. Now they have all these things with women with these big bulging muscles. It's like, so this is against what sort of the ethos of the whole society is. This is a different way of being. It's a softer way of being. And here's the point. It's the more effective way of being
Absolutely.
in terms of closeness to your husband. And you don't need it. We've been sold a bill of goods that we need to be in control. We need to micromanage. We need to, be the man, be the woman, be the whatever, be the soup,
everything.
be everything, okay? And the truth is, it leaves no place for our husband. And then I have no husband to look up to. Where'd my
And
husband
it
go?
leaves no place for your happiness either.
Yeah, there
We're
you
not
go.
happier.
That's right. That's
Or
right.
for his happiness.
Exactly.
Okay? Or for his happiness.
So
Okay?
did we answer this question, Sarita?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it?
Yeah,
We got it?
because I think that's really it's a question that is answered 2 or 3 questions here because so many of them are about how to communicate properly on sensitive topics and
Mm-hmm.
issues. And that is so true. Children, as Gila said, is probably, I don't know, maybe money and children are almost hand in hand.
Twins.
Yeah, so that's also very a topic
a hot topic.
topic.
Right, a hot
So
Yeah, could I just bring up one more thing
Yeah,
before
thank
we
you.
leave
Thank you.
this?
Yeah.
Okay, and that is that there's internal issues and there's external issues. Okay, an internal issue is when something happens between the two of them, meaning like he yelled at her or she yelled at him or there was some
He forgot her birthday, something, you know.
something went on between the two of them.
Right,
Okay, and there's
okay.
hurt, there's distance, right? And then the goal is to connect again, right? Okay, fine. Then we have another issue, which is an external issue. And an external issue is that something is happening outside the couple, and we have to learn how to not let it become a internal issue.
Beautiful. I
Okay,
love
an internal
that.
issue. And sometimes children
Which one are they?
it's like we're so confused. Well, you know what? Children are an external issue.
Or they should.
Okay. Okay. Right. Exactly. Meaning we have to decide together as a couple what we're going to do about Yankee. We have to decide as a couple how to marry off this daughter of ours. Okay. As a couple. Okay. But for women, their children.
right, are exactly everything.
It's
yes.
hard, but I always teach women to say like this: before discussing an external issue that is very emotionally charged, it's a good idea to state out loud, this is an external issue. Okay, let's not let it become in between us.
It's
Okay.
stellar. I love that. I'll tell you, I had a lady call me actually yesterday, and she has a problem. Her husband wants to remodel her kitchen, and she doesn't. I'm like, you need some medication.
Yeah. How unusual.
She says she has everything the way she wants it, and she has it all practical. And if he breaks down that wall like he wants to do, now she can reach everything and whatever. She just likes the way it is, and it's fine. She's fine, even though. Anyway, he wants to do that, and she doesn't want to do that. And she said, "Listen, all my kids are struggling financially, and for me to go put this money into the kitchen, I every day I'm going to feel guilty walking into the kitchen and whatever. So this brings up your thing: external issue, internal issue. So I'll tell you what I told her." There is a Rebbetzin Koldetsky
yeah.
from, this is Chaim Kanievsky's
Rav Chaim's daughter.
daughter, right. So when I asked her, what is your one thing you could give over to the ladies? And she said, I was in Bnei Brak with her, special, beyond, like just in a neshama that glows, like you. So anyway, she said that if you mavater, if you
Give in.
you will see blessing. You'll see. Hold on, let me finish the whole thing.
Okay.
You will see blessing. Now, you may not see it with your own eyes, but you will get it. You will for sure. There will be blessing that comes into your life. So I told this woman. I told that woman to this woman about her husband. I said, now listen. If you mavater, and let him build you the kitchen, all of your children will see, like suddenly this kid got someone gave them their hand-me-down car, and this other one got a tutoring job that pays double whatever it was, the blessing will come in, and whatever financial chewing your nails off you're worried about your kids, God will take care of it. Mavater for your husband. So she's getting a new kitchen. So anyway, okay, what you were going to say at one point.
So I was going to say that the Stipler says, he absolutely says clearly, he says that when a woman goes along with her husband in things, shalom nirala, that it doesn't seem to her that it makes sense at all, Hashem turns over the world so that what it is that she needs and she deeply desires will actually come into fruition. And I always say like this, okay? 1 and 1 is not 2 when you're talking about God. 1 and 1 is not 2 when you're talking about the realities of the world, which is according to Torah. 1 and 1 could be a million. Okay, 1 and 1. If I do this home improvement, my children will have no money. Just a second. Who's in charge of money?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The master of the universe.
Gorgeous. Okay, let's go to the
Leah,
next
we're
question.
having so much fun,
This
right?
is, I love this.
Yeah, this is
great.
amazing.
Okay, good.
Okay, so another one which we end up hearing a lot is that a reader had wrote in, since I started listening to your show, I've really worked on myself a lot. But it's taking forever for my husband to realize how I don't nag anymore or give him a list of things to do all the time.
That she doesn't do it? Or
she doesn't.
That she stopped nagging?
She stopped nagging.
Wow.
Giving him
I
a list.
give a clap?
Yes. So where's the clap? Yeah, look. Clap.
Okay.
Look, she wants a clap.
That's amazing.
Yes.
It's going to keep going for a few days here.
She
That's
says,
awesome.
I'm feeling discouraged because it's a lot of effort and she's not seeing results.
Okay.
And it's interesting because I had similar where I was working on something and I was really being good at it. And then my husband sort of pointed it out on me like I was doing the wrong thing. And I'm thinking, I really want to look at him and say, do you understand how many times I held back and I was doing such a great job and you didn't even appreciate any of those times and you just notice that like one time where I'm doing something that's not because they don't necessarily see.
I have a
Oh,
great
the duct
idea.
tape?
No. You know what? We need to get blue duct tape for
For the
the
eyes. Put it on him. Do you understand? They don't see when they're used to seeing one way. It's very hard for them to see that you make the changes.
Yes. Okay. So I am really, really in favor of pointing out to your husband exactly the things that you are making changes in and working on. Now, I'm not saying right away, and I'm not saying in a not nice way.
I'm working on that.
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
right.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. In a cute way. Absolutely. And I'll tell you why. He really, like Sarit said, he doesn't always notice. It could be he doesn't notice stam, just because, or he doesn't notice because, the Orchat Tzadikim says, not the Orchat Tzadikim, the Orchat Chaim LaRoche, okay, a certain holy book says that we are trained to look at the negative. We naturally look at the negative, not trained.
Women or men?
No, people.
Wow.
And in order to not do that, you have to work on yourself.
Wow.
Okay? So I think it's a great idea in a cute way, in a sweet way, in a nice way, in a charming way, to let him know what it is that you've been doing. Okay, and to point out to him.
It's
careful.
careful.
I'm not saying,
here's one thing,
I'm
though.
not saying, okay.
It's fantastic, and I totally am on page with you. That there is a woman does need a little space. Like, in other words, if you go to your husband, you say, "Oh, I'm going to work on not,
I wouldn't
slamming
say that.
the door."
I
or
wouldn't
whatever.
do that.
Right.
Okay.
Okay,
That I
explain
wouldn't
what you
do.
mean.
Okay. I wouldn't make any announcements whatsoever.
Right.
It's not a good idea to say, I'm going on a diet tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's just
no,
not
no,
a good
yeah,
idea.
yeah,
Keep
yeah.
it to yourself.
Correct.
Okay, just keep it to yourself. So
Correct.
the same thing when we're working on our...
Explain why it isn't a good thing.
Why?
Going on a diet. Just that one thing. Just for people. People might say, why I'm telling my husband I'm going on a diet.
Oh, no.
You're saying it like it's obvious, and I want you to explain it to people why it's not such a great idea to say I'm
First
going
of all,
on a diet.
because it's a very personal thing. It's something that you're working on, and then
Just put
and
added
it's okay.
pressure that you don't need.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, you sure you want that
Exactly.
other bowl of ice cream or whatever?
Yeah.
Just
Simple.
it just
Exactly.
gives you
Just
no
real simple.
space to grow.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
we
Just
all need
simple.
space to grow.
Right, just
Okay.
simple, and it's that also when we're working on ourselves and our relationships with our husbands. Okay, don't make any big announcements. Okay, just start doing it. But it is a great idea every once in a while to say to him, you remember the other day when you said this and this and this? Weren't you surprised that I just smiled and nodded my head? He'll be so enamored with your cuteness, with your sweetness, and he'll say, "You are so cute. You're so cute. Yeah, you are really doing amazing."
Yeah.
We have a thing in here which I'm going to show.
Yeah.
We go on your phone. When you do something, you say, "Oh yeah, I paid the thing bill," or "By the way, they came to pick up the chair that didn't thing, whatever. I had to wait for 2 hours."
Yeah.
Then we do BWE. BWE.
Best wife ever. See, we all got it.
And we all got and with the BWE, and then he sends back. You know what? You get
That's
a
so
heart
cute.
back. Have you ever get a heart from
that's
your husband? A heart,
adorable.
you get a
That's
smiley
adorable.
face or
Yeah.
whatever. Okay.
Right. You see, look, women are cute. Women are sweet. Women are little actresses. I always say, look at the difference. Look at the difference between the way that we educate our girls and the way that we educate our boys. We put our little girls on the stage by the age of 2. Okay? Why? We are teaching them from a very young age, yes, to be actresses, not in a negative way, not in fooling yourself. No. In order to bring joy and love and excitement and fun to everyone around her. So that when they get bigger, guess what? They'll be bigger actresses.
Oh, yeah. I like the way you did that, dear. Yes.
Wow.
Awesome.
And it's actually so interesting because when I did do that to him in a sweet way, where rather than screaming and saying, oh my gosh, if you only knew the 10 other times, and I said to him, you know, I've really been working so hard on this, and I'm trying. I really am. You know I am. Like, you've seen I am, right? And he's like, yes, you are, honey. And he was. So it really is. It's done in a sweet way.
Beautiful.
It's amazing.
Gorgeous.
So
Beautiful.
okay, wow, we have so many. Oh my gosh, Gila, are you? How long are you here for? In LA?
Yeah,
Could you come back next week? Another show? Okay, a sad one, but reader asks, we're drifting apart. What can I do? And that we actually had a viewer who had said, I'm feeling lonely.
Yeah.
We don't have the same likes and hobbies anymore. I'm feeling like we're growing apart.
Okay.
What do you do?
Okay, so here I would go to the ABC. Okay, the ABC is a formula, I guess you could call it, for all relationships.
Gila Levitt's formula.
Yeah.
Gila Levitt's formula. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
good.
Thank you. And yeah, how I came up with this formula, by the way, it was just, you just see like how Hashem is just guiding you. It was unbelievable. Anyway.
We're all on bated breath. We want to hear this formula.
Anyway, okay, so what's the ABC? The ABC is like this. A lot of A's, cut out the C's and learn how to be. Okay? A lot of A's is acceptance, appreciation, admiration, attention, and affection. Okay. Cut out the C's. Guess what the first C is?
Criticism.
Okay.
Controlling.
Criticism.
What'd you say?
Controlling.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, choking. Don't do the choking.
Okay. Comparing. Oh, that's a big one. Okay, it's a big one. Conflict. Okay. Cut out the C's. Commenting, also put in there. Okay. Commenting is giving your opinion when nobody asked you for it. Okay, that's your okay. And learn how to be is be feminine and use your bina. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Let's go to this. Okay. Let's go to this. Okay. We always start with the A's. Okay. That is a say tov, doing the good. Okay. Even though we say sur meira, like stay away from the bad and do good, but when it comes to relationships. Any time in any relationship between a mother and a daughter, between a coworker, a sister-in-law, a neighbor, any time that you want to improve the relationship, make more connection between the two of you, improve the quality of the connection between the two of you, you go to the A's. The A's, acceptance. Who this person is, who this person isn't. Appreciation and admiration, compliments. Yes, compliments. Okay, especially on the things that matter to the person the most. Everybody has what we call tchushat ha-chashivut, like the place that they feel the most importance. Okay, when you compliment a person over there on the place that they feel that that's really who they want to be, how they really want people to see them, right? What their like ideal self-images, right? Okay, when you compliment a person there, it goes so deep. They've proven this also like neurotransmitters and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they
like,
kind of scan the brain.
Exactly.
And say,
Exactly. All
somebody
that.
who's like wants to be geschicked and then you walk and you say, look how you put the table. I can't get over how you put the table. Yeah.
Okay. And the other parts of the A's is right. Attention and affection. Right.
Just time. Forget about it. Time.
Attention.
You want a connection? Time.
Looking at the person when they're talking to you, making eye contact. Okay, is so huge.
Instead of like this doesn't work, right?
Yeah, this doesn't work. Yeah. We can talk about that another time. It's not an easy topic at all.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, I'm going to leave that question now, which is what should I do when my husband's always on his phone?
Okay,
We're going to leave that out.
Okay, fine. Okay.
No, people might want to answer that.
Okay. But anyway, let's go back to the A's. So anyway, whenever we find ourselves in any relationship drifting apart, we go to the A's. Just go to the A's and really put a focus on the A's. Okay, and there is no way, you see, they've also done studies about this, even with hardened criminals. Okay, your husband is not a hardened criminal. I do not believe that.
Somebody who is, and that's okay. There's Shiva. They can repent. They can work on it.
Okay, good, fine. That's true. Okay. That is true. Thank you for bringing that up. That is important. That is important. Everybody. That is important. You're absolutely right. But what I'm saying is, even in situations where a person is a hardened criminal, they have seen that when a person experiences appreciation from other people and they're given attention from other people, guess what? That helps their tshuva process. Okay? They begin to connect themselves to that better part of themselves. And they feel closer and more connected to who? To the person who connected them to their better self.
Beautiful. Okay. And so bring that connection, you go to the A's.
Yeah.
What about avoiding the C's?
Yeah, avoid the C's.
I mean, we're not. Do they go together, or do we just?
No.
You start with the A's.
You start with the A's. You
start
with the A's.
What do you do with the C's?
We don't go there yet. Until the relationship is much more intact and we feel better about it and more wholesome about it and more connected, then we can deal with the C's. Okay,
but if you're appreciating somebody, but at the same time you're saying, but I really like your outfit, but you really could use your earrings don't match, and you know what I mean? Like, so how do you? I mean, isn't it simultaneous to avoid the C's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying it is. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying that's a matter of focus. Yeah, it's a matter of focus. I'm choosing.
I'm just trying to get it so that people know what hands-on what to do when the
hands-on what to do.
So do the A's.
They work hand in hand, like you're saying, Leah.
They do work hand in hand, but
focus on the A's.
You have to focus on the A's. You have to begin somewhere. And when anytime anybody says to me, "Where do I begin?" I say, "We begin with the A's." Now I have to say also that everybody always wants to go to the C's. They always want to go to the C's right away. When I used to do these workshops, the ABC workshops, they say, when are we going to get to the C's? When are we going to get to constructive criticism? Whatever. Now, we're not going there. We have to lay a new foundation. Okay? We have to lay a new foundation. Let's do this. And then when we get there to the C's, it's going to be in a whole other place. Also, the other thing is that it says in Mishlei, right, that love covers up all transgressions. Okay, meaning that when you're focusing on the positive and you're focusing on the good and you're focusing on connecting to those parts of yourself, that's where love comes from, is connecting to the goodness of the other person, then you don't have as much of a need to criticize this, and this. You don't see it.
And explain the B.
The B, be feminine and use your bina. Well, Leah, that's hard on sitting on thing. Okay. It is because that's.
But I know people are going to.
My whole course that I'm putting together right now, my whole focus is on the be feminine. So it's really hard. But okay, fine. So let's just do it. Be feminine and use your bina. Okay. So be feminine, like you've been telling me, feminine charm, right? Right. The reason, I'm just going to do this really, really quickly. It's based on a maral, okay? It's based on a maral, but I'm really doing it quickly. The reason the woman is a little shorter, in most cases, I could talk about that, but we won't talk about it, okay? Okay, softer skin, okay? She has a higher pitched voice, okay? She has Tesha Kavim, she has 9 measures of speech, okay? Then he only has 1, which he shares with the animal kingdom. Okay. Okay.
She's like at half.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What does it mean he shares it with the animal
Meaning
kingdom?
that his measure of speech is not between just him and human beings. It's also between him and all the animals. Also, his measure of speech.
So you mean if he talks to a dog, that counts against his?
No. I don't mean that. I mean that she is given that much more ability to create connection through speech than he is. Okay, he is learning from her. He is learning. Rav Bullman, Zecher Tzaddik Livracha, he taught me that men and women, we learn from each other, but it takes time. Okay. Anyway, just a second. So the reason she has there's all these like physical differences. Okay, her skin is smooth. It's not hairy. Right. She spends a lot of time and energy making sure that it stays soft and smooth and not rough and hairy. Right. Okay, is to teach her that that's what her relationship with her husband is supposed to be. The things that we see on the outside are teaching us about our inside. That's called being feminine. Okay? And we have to work on it today. We do. We really do have to work on it today. Because
meaning the society.
Yes. Exactly. And also because we're wearing so many hats. We're in construction hats. CEO hats. We're wearing so many hats.
We're wearing male hats.
We're wearing male hats, yeah. So it is an effort to when we come home, especially to take off that hat and put on a more feminine hat. Okay, it goes again with oxytocin that we spoke about before. But anyway, okay, fine. So just a second. So that's be feminine and use your bina. Okay, so the word veyiven, esa isha menetzela, like Hashem built the woman from the rib. That's the only time that word veyiven is used in the story of creation. Okay, what does it mean? So I think it's the Oznaim LaTorah, another very, very holy book that says over there that she was given bina. She was given this ability to understand things understand something from something else. That's what the bina is. Okay? There's another explanation that says bina is almost looks like nevuah. Okay? Prophecy. Okay, Vayiven is the same gematria actually as nevuah. Okay. It's hard to translate that. You want to translate that?
No,
We're going to
just
try.
go.
We're going to
No,
let it
that's
go. Okay.
I love it.
In other words, it looks sometimes it looks like nevuah when she has bina, when she's using her
Prophecy,
feminine intuition. Yeah, it looks like nevuah. It's not. It's that she's tuning into her feminine wisdom. Now, my belief is, really, my humble opinion, okay, that we're not as in touch with our feminine wisdom. Why? Because we're not as in touch with our feminine nature. And the minute that we become more in touch, more connected to our feminine nature, and connected means that we're actually manifesting ourselves more in a feminine way than in a masculine way, okay? Then that feminine wisdom will come. You know,
it's been beaten out of us.
Yeah,
okay, tell about the bubbies, but then tell us how to do what you're saying.
Okay, fine.
Good,
So
good,
our bubbies, like our bubbies, like we're so
Grandmas,
smart.
our grandmas,
right? Our grandmas, right? Our great grannies, right? They were so smart. They understood like how to work with their husbands and how to honor them and also be treated.
Make them feel
great. And also, I have so many stories about that. Anyway, okay, and also like feel
Tell us
really
one.
I can't.
Okay.
And also feel really good about like who they are, etc. And that have their husbands really honor them, right? Okay, all that. So, and we have to sit around, and actually that's what I used to do years ago. I haven't done it as much at this point, but sit around giving situations, and together we try to figure out, what is the most feminine way to handle this situation. Like, what could she say? What could she do in this situation? Now, our puppies didn't have to do that because they were so connected. You hear what I'm saying? Okay. Wow. So anyway, that's my.
So how does a woman get in touch with her feminine?
Okay, fine. So, could I mention now my little thing?
Yeah, for sure.
Time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a little. I came up with these like 5 tips. Okay, 5 tips to recapture. It's a word recapture because it is there. It's there. We're just like not as connected to it. Recapture your femininity and strengthen your marriage. That's a natural result of recapturing your femininity. And I'll just say what those 5 are, and then we can be in touch.
A book title coming. That's really good.
Good idea.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Let's talk.
Okay, and I'll just tell you what those 5 ideas are right this second. The first one is...
Do you have the magnet? Where is the thing?
I do. It's in my purse.
Oh, all right.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
We're going to show it after, yeah. Okay, fine. And the first one is smile, okay, because smiling, and all of these things have sources in our literature, okay, in our tradition. Every single thing that I'm saying has so many sources, okay? So the first one is smile. The second one is use your phone voice. Now, our sources did not say use your phone voice, okay? They did not say that. But they did talk about the woman's voice being soft and gentle, okay, in a way that creates more connection.
So instead of saying, grab me the milk, it's, oh, would it be possible?
Is it possible? Yeah, that's using your softer voice and also using those 9 measures of speech, those extra words, in order to make your demand or command into a request. Okay, it's a Rashi, by the way. Okay. The third one is, hold on a second. The third one is, okay. The fourth one is. The fourth one is.
You have to tune in to.
Yeah, just a second.
Right there.
Okay. Oh, I think the third one is depend on him. I think it's depend on him. Allow his male qualities and strengths to shine. Okay.
We should have tipped you off. You were going to give this over. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What is
The big
I think
magnet.
that was the third one. I can't remember.
It's
What is
in
the
your-
fourth
it's in my
one?
bag,
It's
so-
in my bag.
Okay,
It's everything in my bag. Okay. Oh, yeah, I didn't think you would do
Yeah,
that.
no, please.
Okay, I know. I just showed it to you, right, Leah?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And we're glad it's in a magnet, so we could
It's
just.
in, oh, yeah, here. Great.
Good.
Okay.
Wait, show it to the
Ah!
see. There you go. Beautiful.
Okay, nice.
Oh wait, maybe so if people want to screenshot it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There you
Okay.
go.
The third one is compliment your husband. Let him know he's appreciated. Okay. Okay. So we spoke a little bit about that. The fourth one is depend on him. Allow his protection and masculine instincts to shine. Okay. When a lot of men have seen this magnet, by the way. Okay. And every man that looks at it, you know which one he says he likes the most?
That one.
Is this one, and then the smile.
Yeah. Number 4.
Wow,
Yeah, isn't that
wow.
interesting?
It's so-
It's really interesting.
Read the fourth one
The
again.
fourth one is depend on him. You know, our men are having a really hard time too. Okay, it's not just the women are having a hard time. The men are having a hard time being in a world that doesn't appreciate them as men.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not easy for them.
Yeah, I mean, we have the example of a man, right? It used to be, you know, men used to open a door for a woman. Now it became a sign if they open the door, oh, you're a male chauvinist. You think I can't open the door myself. So now you'll go and the guy will be like, should I, shouldn't I? It's a mitzvah, but I don't want her to think badly of me. I don't know what to do, whatever. They're completely in this quandary of what to do with their life. How do they behave that's going to get approval? Yeah.
Right. Good. And the fifth one is create a delicious smell around you. Hand creams, breath fresheners, fragrance soaps, shampoos. Okay, I didn't say in here perfumes. You saw that, right?
Why?
Okay, why? Because our rabbis are telling us to be careful with perfume.
Yeah.
Perfume has a very, very specific purpose between husband and wife. It's not supposed to be like so out there, but a nice
Formulated
smell.
for this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Formulated to attract.
Exactly. They know what they're doing, you know, okay. But hand creams, breath fresheners, fragrance soaps, shampoos, just to have like a nice, like feminine, sweet, nice smell is so, so important. By the way, this is from Rav Chisda in the Gemara and also from the Ben Ishchai. Okay?
Wow.
So anyway, this is really important.
Unless your husband's allergic or
Yes,
he gets
yes,
eye
yeah.
flutters
Yeah.
or whatever
Okay,
he gets. Yeah.
fine. So then
Okay,
we're going to
fine.
find something that works.
Yeah.
Right. Smell like chocolate. Right. let me
Chocolate,
second.
chocolate, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have you smell like chocolate.
You want
so
a
that
chocolate
this way-
scented wife, anyone?
No joke. Then he's really gonna love you.
Yeah,
Good,
You're
thank you,
gonna be
sir.
like,
Okay,
"Yes,
let's go on to the next one. That was fantastic.
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Amazing. Okay.
Aren't we glad to have her here? This is like gorgeous. Okay.
Yeah,
go
so
ahead.
Leah wants to do this one, so we're giving you a hard one, Gila. Even though you're like, no, that's a whole other topic. But what should I do if my husband is always on his cell phone? And when I try to talk to him or be with him, date night, etc., he's always on his phone.
Okay. Leah, you want to try this?
Yeah!
Okay,
See, Gila's like, that's it. I'm getting out of this.
I just have one question for everybody. How often are you on your phone? Right? Like,
good,
if you're
good,
sitting there and your
good.
husband's whatever, and you're like annoyed at him. Now, for those of you, huh?
Or the equivalent of being on your phone.
Right,
Because
right.
for a woman, it's not always
Distracted.
the actual screen, but sometimes you're just absorbed in something else that isn't paying attention to him.
Right. Yeah,
is
very good.
similar effect.
Okay. Right. So the first thing to work on is me. What can I do to be more connected? You know, there's a very sad thing. You bring out the tissues. We're all gonna cry at this one. I have a friend who's a teacher, and you know what she spent last summer? She spent the summer in a sub-course that they had to teach eye contact for toddlers. Because
Wow, that is sad.
Isn't that the saddest
Yeah,
thing you
that
ever
is
heard?
really sad.
The toddlers,
Yeah.
their mother is even bringing them to the park, but she's pushing them on the swing behind there, reading an article or doing her, or talking to somebody or whatever. And the kids are coming to school not being able to look the teacher in the eye. So she had a whole course of how you take let me show you, take the hands like this, you look in the eyes like that. So the kid would learn remedial face looking. So this is not, really, pass the tissues. So the issue is that we are, as a whole society and as a nation, this is something broken. This is broken that needs to be fixed. So to start with, do whatever you can to get better at it yourself. Like if you can improve 5% this in the next month, in the next 2 months,
That's
10%, just whatever it is. Turn your phone off at times you otherwise wouldn't. Like, well, you're waiting for a call. You know what? I hear you're waiting for an important phone call. there is a thing called voicemail. There are things called, if you turn your phone off, the email will be waiting for you. The text will be waiting for you. Now, this is a much bigger problem than we can cover right here about addiction, because, you can't tell somebody who is addicted to cigarettes, just stop, turn it off, don't do it. And it's like, no, they're addicted. These are the same dopamine infusions that you get from the phone. Is, did I get a like? Whatever it is, seeing, maybe something's happening. This FOMO, fear of missing out. We all have FOMO. Right. And you could, if you turned your phone off, and then 3 hours, you turn your phone off for 3 hours. Did you ever notice you get some emails or texts or whatever? Where were you? I was trying to reach you. When did it become okay in our society that we have to be
available?
Hello? Like, what is but this is an expectation that is underlying everything. And enough times people tell you, where were you? I tried to reach you. By, a month later, 2 months later, it's not worth it. I'm going to get, my best friends are going to give me a hard time. My kids are going to give me a hard time. My husband's going to give me a hard time. So we have to change it. And as a nation, that's another whole, or as a world, that's another whole problem we're not attacking here. However, in your relationship with your husband, number one, work on it yourself. Be less distractible. Really, when he walks in the door, that's crucial. There's no excuse for not being able. I get it. You've been waiting on hold for 45 minutes with Home Depot to return the fridge that doesn't work, that you're having a big fight with them. In that case, you would say, can you hold on for 1 second? I've been waiting on hold for 45 minutes. She just came on the line. I think it's going to take 10 minutes, and then I'll greet you. I'll visit with you.
Eye contact.
Eye contact. You work on it yourself. Now we're getting to your husband. Okay, this is a more challenging thing. You have to pick your battles with your husband. So if you have across the board, you're really trying to work on him for not putting you down in front of your mother-in-law. You're trying to work on him to be more on time because he's always late and whatever, you've got your things. So if this becomes one of your top 2 or 3 things you want to work on, fine. If it isn't one of your top 2 or 3 things you're working on with him at the moment, just let it go. Just let it slide for now. You work on yourself, maybe by osmosis or by davening to Hashem, praying, please God, help my husband look in my eye, help him not, while he's taking me out to dinner, he's answering his phone. Please help me work on that. So, but again, you are deciding, is this my top priority or not? If it's not, let it go. If it is, the way to do it is first work on yourself, and second, to have a conversation with him. Plan out the conversation.
Absolutely.
This is not like on the spur of the moment. Blah, 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 and it's going to go bad. You're going to have bad results. It's not going to work, and there's going to be less closeness in the relationship. So plan. How am I going to say it? Well, listen. He loves to. He's a real estate guy, and if he misses a call, that could be a very costly thing. So sit down with him and say, listen, I wanted to brainstorm with you. I know you're thank God you provide for my family, for me, for the family. You buy me this clothes, whatever, you take care of me. But I feel like I never have privacy with you. I feel like there's your phone and there's me. There's the 3 of us. There's 3 of us in the relationship. Please, I want to figure out a way. One thing I thought of, could you train your staff to tell them, listen, for the next hour, I'm not available. The next 2 hours, I'm not available. If so-and-so calls or so-and-so calls, text me and say, please pick up your phone. They're going to call you next. Whatever. Set up some kind of system with your staff. Or if they don't have a staff, figure out some way to do it. Or tell the customers, listen, I would love for you to call you. If you need me to come to the open house or whatever, I will come. Do me a favor. I'm going out with my wife for 2 hours. I'll be from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Reach me before or after that. I put a priority on my family. I hope you do the same. Something like that.
Beautiful.
You're having a conversation with them that they can hear in a soft manner. Use the ABCs. But the point is, you're trying to get over to them. Again, if this is a priority conversation,
yeah, and smell nice.
How to say it. And smell nice while you're doing it.
And by the way, since Leah did bring this up, that getting the likes on your phone brings the dopamine, increases dopamine. Yeah. We like the likes also, ladies. So when you're watching this video, please click like and share.
Thank you. Yes, it helps us a lot.
Okay.
We have time for only maybe 1 or 2 more questions.
Because we were on the overpass. So we have actually about 7 to 8 minutes left.
Okay. Oh, great.
So we're good. How do I accept behaviors that are unacceptable? And we have that a lot also with women who ask with this type of thing is how do they deal with their husband if spiritually they're not doing the things that they believe they want for their home, hashkafically, in their growth, etc.
Yeah. Well, it's a hard one. But we'll go like this. First of all, about the spiritually not being on the same level, etc. Okay. Again, that's my humble opinion. I do believe that I've heard this from people bigger than me, but I'm not quite sure. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And that is that, well, like the Chazal say, that the women, in the merit of the women, we were able to leave Egypt. And in the future, we will also have the future redemption because of the women. We are in a very similar situation to the women that were in Mitzrayim. Okay? Also with the male-female roles. Okay, this is actually good because it's Purim Pesach, right? Okay. What does it mean that they gave them the men's work and the women's work? It means that they wanted to destroy male-female dynamic.
Right.
Okay? Is that not what's going on today too?
Yeah.
Okay. So the women were the women were very down. They were not in touch with their femininity. The men were certainly not in touch with their masculinity. Okay? But the women at a certain point said, we're going to make a change. Okay, they were the ones that stepped up to the plate and made a change, right? Okay, and we all know, we could go into it, so beautiful, but we don't have the time right now. The whole women, how they went out, but it's so powerful. It's so big. It's so big. Okay, what did she do though? Was she forced him to look at the two of them in the mirror and see that she was the one that had Amunah and he wanted to come towards her. Okay, and really, really, really believe that is the place of many, many, many women today. Okay?
Explain it practically.
Practically, it means, again, like what we've been saying, is that she's going to stay on her side of the street, meaning she's going to do her own work. Okay? Mm-hmm. She's going to mirror back to him his greatness. The places that he's trying, the places where she recognizes his struggle. Okay? Even if it's something so tiny. Okay, like I have a story about a woman from South Africa from years ago that it took her quite a few years of davening and praying and working on herself until her husband got to a place where he was willing to make kiddush on Friday night. Wow. Okay. Eventually he became a full-fledged Torah-observant Jew. Wow. Okay? Yeah. See, we don't have patience today. We really don't. We don't have patience today. We don't.
Generation.
It's instant. It's not easy. It's not easy, okay? But I want to just point out that it really is so common that women are struggling with their husband's spirituality today. Now, we think it's today, it's a big issue, but it's always been. It's always been. I do think that it is a real challenge today. There are so many people that are struggling with it, okay? But it's not in a vacuum. Jewish women have gone through this before, okay? And then, therefore, we draw from their strength, we draw from their experience, okay, for today. Okay, now, about the unacceptable behaviors, there are some things that are unacceptable. There are. Okay, I have something I learned from a very, very, very important woman in Yerushalayim. Her name is Tova Hennig. Okay, and when you look at Tova Hennig, you think she's a kind of woman that just says prayers all day by the tomb of Rachel. Okay, that's what she looks like. Okay, but she's this brilliant woman, and she stood up there and she gave this whole PowerPoint presentation about Asperger's, and we were like, wow, wow. Okay, anyway, there are situations that are unacceptable. Okay, in that case, okay, what are they? Okay, I will just give three. Okay, that are unacceptable. Let's instead of unacceptable, let's call them exceptionally challenging. Okay, let's call them that. Okay, when a woman is living behelim, when she's living in a shock situation. Okay, either because her husband has some kind of a mental illness, okay, or an addiction situation, or he is challenged on the communication spectrum, on the autism spectrum, okay, or any kind of personality disorder. Those women are living in an objectionably difficult situation, and they are living with situations and behaviors that are not acceptable. What do they have to do? It doesn't mean that what they're learning from you and Be'ez Hashem, what they're learning from me doesn't apply. It does apply. It does apply. There are definitely things that they need to learn from you and me. But in all humility, they also need to be in touch with a Rav. They also need to be in touch with a professional, okay? And to know where that line is that cannot be crossed for her family, for her relationship, okay? It's very, very, very important. It's very, very important.
That's
Very
excellent. Yeah,
important.
very good. I wanted to add something to the spirituality issue.
Okay.
Because the women also come to me with this a
Yeah,
lot,
a lot.
and with broken hearts, hearts.
Yes.
That they want their husband to be more serious
Yeah.
and do more and learn more and
Yeah.
whatever. So there is something a woman can do. You're not a victim. We talk about this a lot, that you know that in order to empower you, it's not that we're blaming you for your husband's lack of spirituality. We're trying to give you tools that will help you to strengthen your husband in this area. So I'm going to give over what Rav Moshe Cordovero gives over, which is that all bracha comes from Shemayim.
Right.
Through the husband and to the wife. The husband is the giver and the wife is the receiver. If we had to say our Masorah on one foot, this is what maybe you'll second me or say maybe whatever. On one foot, it's that the husband's the giver, the wife is the receiver, and what we're learning here is the more of a receiver we are, guess what? The more blessing God gives to our husband to give to us. Okay. So now here's how it looks, and here's what you can do. Anyone who's watching this or listening, what you can do to bring your husband to more spirituality and more observance and more things, being closer to God, to help your husband to be closer to God, is being the receiver for as much of his learning as humanly possible. So that means if you know that this is a meat fork and this is a milk fork, and and you're standing there and you ask him which one is I put this spoon in the pot. Is this kosher or not kosher? If he knows the answer, if he doesn't know the answer, ask him, can you find out for me or whatever? If he does know the answer, right? You listen to him. You don't say, "Oh, let me go ask a rabbi." That immediately cuts him down, like his Torah is not good enough for you. He's not your Rav. You want to make your husband the Rav. And I asked the rabbi, I said, what happens if he says that milk is wrong,
and he says the wrong
thing. Let's say you ask him because you're trying to you're trying to get the Torah from him, okay? What if he Paskins something? He said, the rabbi told me, lose it. Put this one and say, oh, thank you so much, and then quickly run out to the garbage and throw it away. Dump it without him knowing. Without him knowing. Right. Why? Because the rabbi knew it is so crucial to the male ego to be your Rav. So now, if you go, and we have this thing here, that if a woman is sitting there and her husband's giving the Devar Torah at the Shabbos table, you have two things. We have two things we can be doing while he's giving the Devar Torah. One is to be listening to the Devar Torah. The only other thing that she should be doing is evacuating the house because it's on fire.
That's right.
There is nothing else that a woman can be doing when her husband's giving the Devar Torah. Now, when the husband gives the Devar Torah and the wife receives it, guess what? The husband becomes a kli. He becomes right, and he's empty. In order to get more, he has to go to the base medrash. He has to go learn. He has to pick up a sefer. He has to fill an emptiness that he'll feel. If you're not receiving his Torah, it'll just sit with him for years and years and years. If you receive it, he becomes empty, and that is the number one way to get him spiritually more connected. And this is, I have many, many sources for this, but the biggest thing, I've seen it with my own eyes. I have students who their husband hasn't gone to shul for years, and they begin doing this process. It's not right away. It's not the impatient, whatever. It happens. It's just slowly being a receiver. Okay, time for one last
Very
question.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think we're actually running out of time.
Yeah.
Okay,
fine. Okay,
but
fine.
I definitely I would love for where can our
how do
viewers
they
those
get-
cards?
Okay, so we can include a link, or
Yes,
we can
we'll definitely
okay,
include a
fine.
link.
So
Okay,
that's
perfect.
that.
And people
Okay,
can
so
sign
that-
up there.
and they can sign up there, and also I have a
she's gonna
newsletter
subscribe.
called
She's-
Feminine Touch newsletter that we
Yeah.
could send out more
Okay,
things
good.
and more
Okay,
tips.
good.
and
We'll let
cetera.
all our
Gila, wait, we need our
Right.
applause
Anyway, this
before I
was
say. Okay, so hold on
Yeah.
a second. Gila, it has been such
Yeah, it
a
was so
pleasure.
fun.
We could have gone
Yeah.
for another hour.
Yeah,
I enjoyed this
absolutely.
thoroughly,
Absolutely.
and I'm just so grateful to you for
Yeah, it
coming
was
all the
really
way
fun.
to Yerushalayim, and you're here in LA, that you were able to come on the show with us. I want to give you a hug.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
It was
for
so
being here.
fun.
And-
It was
okay,
so
hold on.
fun.
Okay, thank you so much. This is Ladies Talk Show. This is Leah Richheimer. We'll see you next week.
Great.